Hi guys, Matt White here from the Grid World Motorsport League. Time for another Grid World Motorsport League Top 10 update. And we have another brand new entry this week, coming in at 4th position. Ty Gibbs, he was 4th in the Xfinity race at the weekend at Martinsville, and he slides into the top 10. Shane Van Gisbergen continues to lead, and he is in action this weekend at Tasmania for Repco Supercars. Manuel Maldonado and Rory Petternan, who are joint second, are in action this weekend as well in the European Le Mans Series at Barcelona. That's their season first race, and they're in separate cars, so they will be split this weekend in terms of point scoring, so we'll have to see how they get on. The top three all in action, and a lot of people just outside the top 10 in action this weekend as well. MotoGP becomes eligible, so we've got a big weekend of scoring to come. Quick look back at where the winners are from this last week. Josh Berry won his first Xfinity Series race of his career. He's 146th in the World Motorsport League rankings. Ryan Truex got his third win of the year in the Cup race. He's now 29th in the overall standings. Formula E became eligible at the weekend. Sam Bird is the championship leader, and he is the highest scorer in the Grid World Motorsport League. He's in 44th position coming out of the Rome E-Prix. The race winners, John-Eric Vergne is 111th, and Stoffel Vandoorne is 95th, and Stoffel picks up our Performer of the Weekend award this week. He had a pole position and a race victory across the two races this weekend, and probably should have got more from that Saturday race before getting caught up in the accident late on with Lucas Di Grassi and his teammate Nick De Vries. Formula E back in action in 2 weeks' time at Valencia for another doubleheader at the Ricardo Tormo circuit, so it'll be interesting to see Formula E cars on a proper racetrack, not a street course, for the first time in a couple of weeks. But we've got a massive amount of racing coming up this weekend. Supercars, Formula 1, MotoGP, the kick-off to the European Le Mans Series and the GT World Challenge Europe, as well as NASCAR. So big weekend of scoring. Massive changes to the leaderboard coming this week for week 9 of the Grid World Motorsport League. I'll be updating you this time next week, and I'll be on the show on Saturday in our pre-race show. A build up to a very, very big weekend indeed.
As we already know, the NBC Sports Network is shutting down at the end of the year. NBC is home to MotoGP, the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the NTT IndyCar Series, and NASCAR in the United States. We've already seen a reaction from IndyCar by moving Indy Lights races, IndyCar practice qualifying sessions, and all IndyCar-related content over to Peacock TV. NBC as in NASCAR races will eventually transition to USA Network, and there's no word yet on any future plans for MotoGP and IMSA broadcasting yet. After the 2021 season, IndyCar's current exclusive broadcasting contract with NBC Sports will conclude. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the future of the NTT IndyCar series on television, and Roger Penske will definitely be evaluating all options moving forward. In a normal year, the IndyCar schedule will go from March to September. CBS Sports currently broadcasts NFL games, the Super Bowl every other year, college basketball games, the NCAA tournament, golf, the Masters, and SEC football, just to name some of their major contracts, now expanding their list of auto racing series. Joe, do you think CBS might be a good fit for the NTT IndyCar series?
I do see CBS and IndyCar being potentially a good working relationship. We know IndyCar, they've had a long relationship with ABC, especially for the Indianapolis 500, that extended to ESPN. ESPN and ABC was even good to the Indy Racing League and CART during the split. Of course, we know since then, NBC, they picked up the Indianapolis 500. Overall, I say they've done a fair job of treating the Indianapolis 500 as a big major event like it should be treated as. With that said, though, we are seeing a lot of events being on NBC Sports. We know the changes are happening. So the potential of seeing CBS and IndyCar coming together, I see no reason why that's not possible. We know CBS has a history of motorsports in the past with NASCAR, the Daytona 500, them Indianapolis 500. That could be another big, great partnership.
Well, I think CBS could potentially be a good fit for IndyCar. As I mentioned, in a normal calendar year, the IndyCar schedule is going to go from March to maybe late September. Maybe it gets a little bit longer, goes into October. But the big thing is with all of CBS's other commitments that I mentioned, are, are we going to be able to get the Indianapolis 500 on as they call Big CBS instead of the CBS Sports Network? and because I know CBS has a lot of other priorities, and rightfully so. They just had the Super Bowl, and so it's going to be a while, well, it's a few years before they have it again. And then the NCAA tournament, that's going to be the big thing all of March. So if IndyCar was having St. Pete in March, not really sure how that would work out. And then the Masters as well, which just finished up, that's going to be a big one. And just overall, CBS has a lot of major commitments, and I'm just wondering how in the world would they fit IndyCar into their schedule? And obviously, CBS Sports Network on cable television would be a great option, but I'm sure IndyCar would like to have some of their races broadcast on network television as well.